With our last building, we were able to add on to our selection by holding down the Shift key, and using the rectangular marquee, we were able to add on to our building. And that was nice and easy, but there's got to be a simpler way to simply draw off the building shape that we want to have selected. So let's close out building 1. Let's open up buildings 2 and 3. Now these have the same rectangular shapes, and we can certainly use the rectangle marquee to create them and select them, but it can get rather complicated because you have multiple different types of rectangles, especially on this pink building. But I still need to be able to cut them out without having any of the background. So we have a different type of selection tool. These are the freehand drawing selection tools to be able to draw off the shape that we want to cut out. And these are found usually underneath our shape marquees, our rectangle or our ellipse marquee. And the one we want to work with is the Polygon Lasso tools. The actual industry name for these are the Lasso tool. If you don't see it, it may be under the Lasso tool. There's the Polygon Lasso tool and the Magnetic Lasso tool, and these are in our toolbox. The first one we're going to use is the Polygon Lasso tool. What the Polygon Lasso tool will allow us to do is to draw lines between one point and another, and it will draw off a shape. So let me show you how to do it. We're going to click once, and that has a starting point. And from here, you see a line is being connected to wherever I move my mouse. I'm not holding down on my mouse, but if I was to click once again, it locks in that point, and I can draw another point. So wherever I click my mouse, that's where it's drawing off until it draws off a shape. When I bring my mouse back to the original starting point, you notice a little circle appears. This is just like in using the pen tool in Adobe Illustrator. If I was to click here, it would complete the shape. And now you see I have the marching ants moving along the selected area that I have. Everything inside of this selection has been selected and everything on the outside is not. So if I wanted to move it around, I can click on the center of it and move around my selection to pick up any pixels that I need. If I clicked on the outside, it would deselect. Another way of deselecting is you can go up to the selection menu and simply choose deselect, or you can use the keyboard shortcut of Command D. So let's use the Polygon Lasso tool to cut out these two shapes. I'm going to start off with our golden building. Down at the very bottom, I'm going to click once and then move up to the next point along the building. All I have to do is click once, and I don't have to hold my mouse down between each of the points that I'm clicking. Now that I'm down at the bottom and I go back over to my starting point, I want to make sure that I see that little circle next to my icon. And when I click on it, it completes the shape, and you can see I have the marching ants moving around. So now if I hit Edit and Copy, I can go back over here and paste it in. And then I can choose my black arrow tool in order to select it and move it around. I want to put this one on this side. Let's go back and select the pink one and put it on the other side. There, with it selected, let's go to Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste. And we're going to move this one over to this side, right there. Now would be a good time to save your document, because the more often you save, sometimes Photoshop will crash or will hang up and you may lose your document. To save a document, let's go to File and down to Save. And you can choose your jump drive or choose wherever you want to save it to, and give your file a name. I'm going to call this Night Buildings. The format we want to save this is Photoshop format. This is because Photoshop will save everything that we've worked on, including our layers. If you clicked on this, you'll notice that there are some different types you can choose from, including a JPEG and a TIFF and some other different formats that are used in printing. But for this document, for our project, we'll use the Photoshop format. And let's hit save. Notice now that the name of our document appears at the top of our document that we're working on.